How do you build more control over your voice? Today, I want to share with you a different way to think about this and an exercise to help you train this in. So, the idea is this: I want you to focus on making smaller changes to your singing. I mean, think about this. What does control of our voice even mean? For me, it's about activating the correct muscles. Say, for example, if you want to sing higher, you need to activate the muscles that stretch the vocal folds, but also it is about activating it just enough. There is a sweet spot to it. And especially with singing where so many of the muscles are a lot smaller than, say, flexing your bicep, I find that often the changes you need to make is much less than you think. Now, this concept of making smaller changes can apply to so many aspects of the voice. As I said, how you stretch the vocal folds, how we shape our vowels. There are all these different aspects of the voice that you can control. But for today, I want to focus on one that's a bit more apparent and a bit easier to notice: controlling the volume in your voice. If you look at volume as a spectrum where you can go very, very loud or you can go very, very soft, I've noticed that a lot of great singers tend to really stay in the middle. And sure, they might add a bit more or a bit less in terms of dynamics, but the changes that they make are often much less extreme than what a beginner might anticipate. Someone who's starting off might often sing too soft, or they might have the tendency to push a lot of air, push a lot of volume, really squeeze on those chords. And so if you feel like you're in this situation, how do we build more control over this? Now, real quick before I share the exercise, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ivan. I'm a voice teacher who works with students from all around the world. And really on this channel, my goal is to make learning how to sing as simple and as easy as possible. So if that is up your lane, consider subscribing wherever you're joining me from. If you're interested in improving your voice with less of the headaches, then I've got some links down in the description on how you can work with me privately, but also some self-study programs that you can work in a step 1, step 2, step 3 manner. Last but not least, if you want to inspire our next episode, drop down into the comments below what you want me to talk about next. So let's start here. If we want to build a bit more control over our volume and so that we can actually sing a bit more in the middle, the first thing we need to show to our brain is that there are a lot more levels, a lot more gray between these two extremes of very soft and very loud, especially if that is your tendency. So let's do this, right? A simple thing you can do is we can work through a scale and we repeat it 5 times. And each time I'm just progressively getting louder. Something like this. No, 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 no. So here I'm basically singing the exact same pattern and I'm trying to do it in 5 different levels. Now for this to work, a couple of things you need to keep in mind. The pitch and the vowel should be the same, which means, say if I'm trying to go a bit louder, no, 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 and I lose that kind of vowel, then this is something you need to work on first, because the only thing we're trying to isolate here is that change in volume. Now, the other cue that you're looking for here is as you're adding more volume, they should be even, right? So step 1 to step 2 should feel about the same. Step 2 to step 3 should feel about the same. Step 3 to step 4 should be about the same. Because if you're doing it like this, no, 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 where the volume changes aren't even, then this is another sign that the control needs to be better. Now, the purpose of this exercise is to show you that there is a lot more gray, a lot more precision you can have when it comes to volume. Now, for those of you who found this first step easy, let's take it one step further. What I want you to do here now, why don't we create 7 different levels? Something like this. Now, if that's too hard, that's okay. Go back to the 5 levels first, right? You can kind of build up from there. But you'll find that the more kind of detail you can get with that changes in volume, the more control you'll actually have. Now, let's wrap it up here with step number 3, because as I said, a lot of times you're not really going to be singing in such extremes in terms of dynamics. Rather, you hang around more in the middle. So what you can do is after you've shown to your brain that you've got all this dynamics, you've got all this gray, let's now find that spot in the middle. Now, what you can do easily here is you do the first 2 steps, maybe 5 levels or 7 levels, or maybe more, depending on your skill level. And then you repeat it again, but you try to go for that spot in the middle. So if you're doing 5 levels, then the middle should feel kind of like level 3. Now, if you're doing 7 levels, then that middle will be at that level 4. So let's give it a try. No, 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 no. And And so you can try this process by just repeating the scale at 5 different levels or 7 different levels, and then adding another repetition where you go back for that middle spot. Now, I've been using this term middle a lot, but it's also quite arbitrary, which means, say if you're singing songs that are a bit stronger, your sense of middle is going to be a bit more. If you're singing songs that are a bit lighter, then your sense of middle is going to be a bit less. But the purpose of this is when you can learn how to make these very, very small changes, say in the instance of volume, then finding the middle is going to be a lot easier because you really painted that picture for your mind. As opposed to someone who has very kind of crude control, they can only sing very strong or very, very soft. They'll never be able to kind of find this spot. And so when you're listening to your own voice, you're like, oh, why does it sound so much more strained? Or why does it sound so weak? This is the reason. Anyway, that is all for today. I hope you found this episode useful. This is an idea you can use to train and build more control over your voice. If you found this useful, please share this with a friend or family. That really, really means well to me. If you're on the podcast, leaving a 5-star review also really, really helps. Apart from that, my name is Ivan. If you're interested in lessons, once again, links are down in the description. Apart from that, I'll see you next week. Take care.